Welcome to the Foxes Video Mag, a brand new series highlighting Leicester City's first ever season in the Premier League.
And again, it's Julian Joachim once more, and now it's 3-1, and now they have won the game.
This exclusive programme features the start of City's historic first season in the Premiership, and the new challenge was met by a new look lineup. The big summer signing was Mark Draper from Notts County. The fee, £1.25 million, set by an independent tribunal and a new club record. Nicky Mohan was Brian Little's other pre-season signing. Mohan a £330,000 buy from Middlesbrough. While Franz Carr concluded an early season loan spell when he joined City in a £100,000 deal at the start of October from Sheffield United. The story kicks off with a Premier League baptism of fire against Newcastle. Kevin Keegan's men were destined to make a red-hot start to the season, and City were given an early taste of the size of the task ahead.
Blocked by Akew. This is Fox. Whitlow can't stop the cross. Cole trying to climb at the far post. Kept in play by Sellers. Barry Benison in midfield today, with Peacock and Albert, who's on the ball here, the two centre-backs, although Albert does have a real attacking side to his game. He scored twice in the World Cup finals. Joachim. He's got Whitlow to the left. Joachim with only eyes for goal, and he's still going. Joachim!
Well, he should have scored, Martin. He should have scored, and I think he knows that. He got lucky at the edge of the box here. Really, Darren Peacock and Will Fox getting a terrible tangle. He gets through and he shouldn't, but really that's not a great shot. Maybe a little bit nervous early in the game, but there's nothing nervy about the run. Look at that for positive running, and what a pity he didn't finish it off with a positive strike.
Sellers and Fox over the ball at the short corner, and look at the room here for Hottinger to hoist it in. Albert is there again. It's a terrific try. What a shot. No wonder he puffs out the cheeks. Terrific save as well.
Well, I think Gavin Ward would have been as surprised as anyone that Albert's got the cheek to even attempt a shot. He's got no right to attempt a shot from there. Look how far he's out. He must be close to 40 yards there. The goalkeeper has to be at full stretch to deal with it.
But for the most part, Newcastle looking more menacing when taking a route with the ball close to the ground. Slightly different at set plays when Albert and Peacock get forward. Here's Albert, who's already had one superb shot. Oh, and it's running for Fox. Still Fox. It stayed out, and luck was with Leicester City.
Well, if you want to know about Leicester City, this one piece of action tells you everything about why they got up last year, Martin. Because they've got a desire and a belief not to give anything up. This should be a goal. It really should be a goal. But not as far as Richard Smith is concerned. Look at that. Now that's what you call as good as a goal.
Blake getting closer to Walsh that time, so that although Peacock won the header, at least Leicester picked up the loose ball. The problem is, if they do that, there's space in behind them, and Sellers can run at the back men now. Beardsley coming in from the left, in space. Cole! That's Newcastle for you. Where they left off last season, they've started this time around, and the goal thoroughly deserved. And it really came because Leicester showed a bit more ambition in the other half of the field.
Yes, he did, Mark, but watch Cole. He pulls away this way, then he's in the front, near post, straight in there, and it's Beardsley knows he's there. I mean, there's no way he's going for goal. He has a little look. He knows Cole's going to be coming across the defenders, and Andy Cole slides it in. Watch this, in he goes, in at the near post. That's where you hunt your goals if you're Andy Cole.
So looking to go through the player. Elusive work from Fox. To the feet of Cole. He's prepared to tussle for it as well. That's part of the Newcastle ethic. Fox with the cross. That's by Mohan. Encouraged to go on. Puts it in. Fox. Beardsley. He's through. Oh, through the goalkeeper as well. 2-0. And the double act absolutely dynamic. Cole the first, set up by Beardsley, and Beardsley takes all the applause the second time himself.
Look at the touch. That was the important part of it, was the take, and the rest was all about Beardsley. This ball's drilled up. But look at the way he controls it, dropping the shoulder, hit the target, make the goalkeeper save it, and you've got a chance. That was what Peter Beardsley did. Look at that, shifts it. Moen is left stranded. Now, can he finish off by hitting the target? The answer is quite emphatic. Yes, he can.
2-0 they lead. It's a long haul in this game for Leicester City now. And here's Hill with a free kick. Penalty. Push by Peacock, I think it was, on Walsh.
Definitely what he's given it for, Mark. It's definitely what he's given it for. I thought Albert and Peacock got a bit confused, but they want to get this taken quickly, don't they?
Mark Draper wants to take it quickly. Oh, but he doesn't take it successfully. Cernicek with the save. Cernicek at a time when who's going to keep goal for Newcastle is still under question. Kevin Keegan and the directors at St James's Park still pursuing an appeal with the authorities about the American Brad Friedel. They would like to sign, they have an arrangement to sign. Cernicek saying, I'm the man in possession. Fox. Oh, and Elliott is free, coming in from the left. It nestles in for Robbie Elliott, and the substitute has rubbed it in here. 3-0.
Great vision from Will Fox. Needed to see Elliott. He gets a bit of luck here. But Cole's attracting all the attention rightly, and Richard Smith's dragged in. But look at that for a ball. And I tell you what, that wasn't an easy finish. You have to give Elliott a lot of credit. He keeps it down very well indeed. Ward can only get a touch to it, and now it really is over for Leicester today.
Nappy, who spent most of last season on the bench, but came off it from time to time to make a useful impact. Oh, look where Cernicek's gone. Well, he's going to be going in another sense. And suddenly, although they're in no danger of losing the game, it's going wrong for Newcastle. Peter Beardsley taken off, Pavel Cernicek sent off in the opening game. He was sent off in the second game last season. It comes even earlier this time around. Cernicek, who had earlier saved a penalty from Draper, now really unnecessarily chasing Joachim and tripping him.
Well, I'll tell you what, my first reaction is, what on earth is he doing out there? You can see from the picture, Darren Peacock's within 2 or 3 yards of Julian Joachim. What on earth is the goalkeeper thinking of? Look at Peacock. What does the goalkeeper need to be there for? He catches his foot. The referee,
Matthey's
I
come
don't
off,
think...
Hooper's coming off.
But I just think, I'm not a smile, it's been a good day for Pavel Cernicek up to that moment.
What
he
about
played
Alex
well.
Matthey there, though? He's only just been brought on, and now tactically he has to go off to allow Mike Hooper to play the remainder of this game in goal, unless, of course, he gets into trouble. Agnew, worth a try. Oh, and Hooper's fumbled it. In comes Joachim. Well, something for Leicester City to take away from their first game back, but not a happy moment for Mike Hooper.
Not so sure if this moved a bit. Certainly, Hooper's body motion suggested he was moving to his right. It goes back to his left. He can't gather it. It did dip viciously. But if you're not going to gather it, then you've got to push it away. There he's going to his right. Doesn't really do anything with it. Didn't look to me as if he was trying to take it into his body or parry it away from goal. Just kind of put his arms behind it, dropped down, and Julian Joachim right behind it.
Further evidence of the size of City's battle for survival came 2 days later at Ewood Park.
That's not a bad ball. Sutton's there. He scores on his home debut. 1-0 to Rovers. This is Blake. Not a bad little ball that, and Leicester coming back. Good shot from Draper. Oh, tipped over by Tim Flowers. Well, that's a long ball across. Henningberg's there, and he got the final touch. 2-0, 59 minutes gone. So Rovers coming forward and going, oh, great dummy there. This is Robbie Slater. Slater going through. Good shot from Slater. Oh, off the post. Shearer's there. 3-0.
2 defeats and 6 goals conceded in the opening 2 Premiership matches was only the start of City's problems. An injury blow to star striker Steve Walsh meant another crippling setback. Suspected cartilage damage to the same knee which required surgery a year earlier meant Walsh was destined for another long layoff. There was no respite at the City ground against rivals Nottingham Forest.
Turn by Collymore, great run by Collymore. Here's a chance for Forest. And Steve Collymore has scored another magnificent goal. A beautiful solo goal. What a reputation he's earning.
Forest turn on the speed and turn on the style again. Roy, he's one-on-one with Mickey Mohan, who's closing him down. He's turned Mohan. He has supporting Collymore. Wow, what a shot! Almost broke the bar, that one. Steve Stone going through. Mickey Mohan has already had a yellow card, and I think he is about to get a red. And like Mike Atherton, he's not staying around for the decision. Shows him his number, and Mickey Mohan will play no further part.
With nothing to show from the first 3 matches, City badly needed a positive result against Queen's Park Rangers.
Sinclair through the middle, expecting Ferdinand to make the run. Kevin Poole quickly off his line, operating here as a sweeper, reading the situation very well. A little bit of pushing there on Ewan Roberts, and he gets the free kick. Just about 28 yards from goal. Not the best of angles this to deliver the free kick from. It's very square, favours Tony Roberts in goal. But Steve Thompson placing the ball. Will he have a crack? Referee Stephen Lodge just making sure that defensive wall is 10 yards back. Number 17, Steve Thompson. He steps aside, and that's drilled in. Oh, off the crossbar! What a tremendous strike that was from Steve Agnew. And a lead off for Queen's Park Rangers. He hit that from nearly 30 yards, and it crashed against the crossbar. Well cut out by Roberts. Not a good throw, though. Rangers losing out again. Good cross required here. It's not a bad one, and the header coming in from Ewan Roberts. Roberts so brave in the air, taking this one early. Didn't quite get his forehead fully behind it. 25 minutes on the clock then, and still it's Leicester City 0, Queen's Park Rangers 0. Big boot from Mohan. This is Gary Mills. Mills put under pressure there by Sinclair. And left riding on the ground, and that's a yellow card for Sinclair. Well, red card it is. And I don't think he can have any arguments at all about that. He's left Gary Mills there in pain. So not a happy night for Rangers so far on the disciplinary side. One player sent off, one booked. This is Steve Agnew trying to play it into the feet of Lee Philpott. Philpott moved and it all went astray. Queen's Park Rangers, they'll try and keep it tight at the back and just hit Leicester on the break when they can. Penrice now. Clive Wilson, of course, enjoying more freedom on that far side. He's on the ball again. And again, not a bad cross. Well intercepted by Moen. Bardsley going for the 1-2. He's in for the shot here. Turns it. Bowers and OG! And that's desperately bad luck for Leicester City. It was David Bardsley who hammered it across. And really, there was no way out. It just struck poor Jimmy Willis and into the net. Here it is again. Bardsley playing the 1-2. He's got the space here. He drives it fiercely across. And Willis, trying to turn it away, puts it into his own net. Holloway getting it wide again to Clive Wilson on that far side. Takes the return ball. Wilson finding Impey. Barker wanted it played back. Impey getting it in. Ferdinand's there. Great save by Kevin Poole. Well, the England centre forward hitting it first time. It's a good cross this from Impey. And well taken by Ferdinand with the inside of the left foot. But Kevin Poole was there to turn it over the top. Would do Leicester a power of good if they could get on level terms before the break. Bardsley cutting that one out. An athletic interception there by the former England international. Penrice dictating the play here. Wilson delivers the cross. It's a good one. Oh, and where was the marking? And that's a golden opportunity squandered there by Holloway. Mickey Moen knocking it forward. Low again at the end of it. Away goes Roberts. Oh! So unlucky. Steve Agnew. You see Roberts here, just slotting it through for Steve Agnew. It's on his left foot really, and he takes it with the right. A little bit of holding there. This is low. Nice ball. Gary Mills. Well, he hit it in low. Maybe he could have had a shot then. He tried to get the cross in. And the fans once more getting behind their side. Agnew battling all the way and then urging the fans to get behind them. He certainly never gives up. Corner then to Leicester City. We're into the 63rd minute of this game. Philpott sends it high. In comes the header. Oh, great save. A brilliant save that. Bardsley. This is Holloway. Good run across the line that by the young striker. with the big future ahead of him. Oh, off the underside of the crossbar, and the header coming in from Ferdinand. But that was a brilliant effort. Can he get it in? Yes! How about that? A brilliant effort there. Phil G, the scorer. It came from that flick on there. Beautifully played through. And he buries this shot low and hard into the far corner of the net. And with 89 minutes on the clock, it's 1-1.
You had a lot of time to think about that one. Always a difficult situation, that.
I just thought, as the ball was played at me, coming to my chest, I thought chest it down and just hit it. And luckily, it went over the goalie.
Well, you hit it under the keeper, didn't you, and right into the far corner?
I thought he'd dived over it, but I just thought I'd shoot across the goal.
So you're obviously delighted with that?
Yes. So the gaffer's had a hard decision to make with players, and he's missed quite a bit of pre-season. So with the side he's been doing, it's just been more or less experimenting. But I think we'll get there.
You had opponents tonight who were a man short for an hour, and yet were making space.
Yeah, it's funny because we actually played better while it was 11 v 11. But their tactics then really helped their style of play and made it more difficult for us. We found it difficult when we had a lot of time on the ball at the back. And we also found that we actually started passing the ball around deeper than we do normally. And they were taking the ball off us quite easily and causing us more problems for that. So I think a couple of things tactically were wrong. We tried to sort that out at half-time. I felt we did a little bit better in the second half. But it was a very even game in that respect. It could have gone either way. But I will understand they're saying, if they're saying they were unlucky not to have won it. When a team equalises in the 90th minute, they're going to believe that. But overall, we feel we've made some improvement in every game we've played so far.
Brian Little's next move was to sign Franz Carr on loan from Sheffield United. With Steve Walsh and David Speedy both recovering from surgery, Carr's arrival was a big boost. Carr made his debut at Selhurst Park against Wimbledon, where Mark Draper made his return after recovering from an ankle injury.
Kevin Poole. A little bit of luck there for Leicester, but Wimbledon's still in possession. Both sides looking for their first win of the season here this afternoon. It's not a bad ball in. Chance here. Oh! Just past the post. Not a bad effort that by Gale. But I think Kevin Poole had it covered. Little shove in the back there on Roberts. But Wimbledon got away with it. Now then, Philpott, if he can get round the outside, he can deliver a good cross. Well, that's not a bad effort, is it? It falls to Lowe. Oh, what a super strike from David Lowe. 25 minutes gone. It's the first time that Leicester have been ahead this season, and that was a superb finish. Philpott gets it on the left foot. He didn't even look up. He just fired in the cross. The first one's missed, but in comes David Lowe, and no chance at all for Seegers. Philpott just got the perfect weight on that cross. And Hans Seegers, well, he got his hands to it, but he couldn't turn it away. 1-0, Leicester lead. So it's not been a good week for Wimbledon. Dramatic week, in fact. John Scales sold to Liverpool earlier on, and then Dean Holdsworth demanding a transfer. Because of that, he's had his captaincy taken away from him. And that's been given to Vinnie Jones this afternoon. And here is Jones to take the throw. He's looking for some movement in the middle. His foot was on the line there. Down for one, in comes the header. Oh! Half of the scorer. It's taken Wimbledon 4 minutes to reply. And 1-1 the scoreline here at Selhurst Park. It all came from that throw from Vinnie Jones, and big Mick Harford got his head on the end of it. Nicely flicked across, and Harford with the final header, the ball bouncing past Kevin Poole. Got some length in that throw. Nicely flicked across by Gale, and 1-1 the scoreline here. So Jimmy Willis with the free kick for Leicester City. This is Draper. Nice little touch, finding Franz Carr. And then what can he conjure up here? That's not a bad cross, but it was too close to Hans Segers. Oh, a little confrontation there between Jones and Lowe. Both players striking out at each other there. Trouble in store here as referee Graham Pole takes note. What colour will the cards be? They're red cards. 35 minutes into this game, and Lowe and Vinnie Jones look like they're going to take an early bath. Here it is. It was a confrontation. Well, definitely a blow struck there by Vinnie Jones, the Wimbledon captain. It came from this cross. They were haggling there. Look at that, having a go at each other, and two of them take an early bath. One mistake there, and a late challenge, a free kick. It could be a red card here. He's already had one yellow card. Brian Carey in trouble, and Carey's off. Oh, this is disaster for Leicester City. First touch let him down there, and then Carey just tripped the man as he went through, and he follows Lowe and Jones into the dressing room. So Leicester down to 9 men. They'll be backs to the walls now as they fight to keep this Wimbledon side out. Here's Barton. Barton looking for the return ball. Nicely through. Oh, there's a chance here. Oh, it's an own goal. Jimmy Willis, he couldn't get out the way, and he's turned it into his own net. Disaster upon disaster heaping on Leicester now. Look at the space that Harford had, and poor Willis turns it into his own net. He was really exposed there, in all fairness. Harford drives it across. Well, Poole got a touch to it, didn't he, and just knocked it into Willis. And Wimbledon lead by 2-1.
A contest overshadowed by 3 sendings off, but the real disappointment for City was another defeat. The odds on turning the form book upside down didn't look good against a Spurs side boasting a multi-million-pound lineup.
Kerslake trying to get on the outside of Lewis. You need to be pacey to do that. Anderton in towards Klinsmann, turned away by Willis. Chance maybe for Dumitrescu. Good challenge by Moen though. There's a real feel of defiance about the Leicester back line. Nicky Moen and Jimmy Willis are really enjoying the opportunity to show what they can do against such a star-studded attacking lineup. Defending with great purpose. Philpott. Away by Nethercott. Lewis. Draper. Into Ewan Roberts. Chance for Julian Joachim. Good save. Just bounced up in front of Walker and he was able to help it over the bar. An excellent opportunity for Julian Joachim. Classic smash and grab. Up got the big man. In went the small man. Across came the goalkeeper. Draper will take the corner. Awkward for Walker. Chance for Moen. Good defending by Barnby. Still Blake. Calderwood couldn't get it clear. Almost came for Carr. Came off Carr. It'll be a goal kick. Saul Campbell had the last word. It was all a little bit desperate. There was a lot of Tottenham defenders telling each other to calm down at the moment. Philpott. Header away by Campbell. Lewis is looking very, very promising, the left back. He's 20 years of age. But Moen has slipped and Klinsmann has got a chance here for Spurs with Anderton and Sheringham with him. Dumitrescu has got up too, and Barnby. This is Anderton. In comes Klinsmann. Here's Dumitrescu. Probably the clearest chance of the game so far. And it was a long, long way off the target. They had men over there. Klinsmann did enough in the air to force the ball on, and Dumitrescu really just needed to steady himself a little bit more. Knocked away by Willis, seized upon by Carr. Tackled by Dumitrescu. Sheringham, Klinsmann and Anderton are still forward. No foul. Willis just launched himself into Dumitrescu's path, and Dumitrescu, in Colin Jackson style, managed to get over the hurdle. Couldn't stay with the ball. Draper. Joachim was fouled by Nethercott. We're playing stoppage time at the end of the first half. Moen, rather belatedly running through the shot there, is making his way into the penalty area. Philpott takes. In towards Roberts. Hacked away by Nethercott. Headed away by Edinburgh. Grayson. Willis. Lewis. Space for Roberts. Down for Joachim. Up and over. Well, he's had 2 or 3 sights at goal. So has Klinsmann. There have been clear chances for Dumitrescu and Carr, but no goals. Julian Joachim taking on Nethercott. He got past him. Calderwood came across, but it didn't matter. Julian Joachim gives Leicester the lead. And that may just be the moment when Leicester City's season gets off and running. And once Joachim's running, he's difficult to catch. Too quick for Nethercott. Across came Calderwood, but Joachim just managed to poke it maybe off Calderwood into the goal. I have a feeling there was a slight deflection here on the final shot. Indeed there was, and it just looped beyond Ian Walker. It's come in first half stoppage time. Teams promoted via the playoffs have a poor survival rate in the top flight. And the popular prediction that Leicester will go the same way as Swindon, enforced by the fact that 4 teams are relegated this time. Nobody's thinking much about relegation inside Filbert Street at the moment. Here's Dumitrescu. Almost came back to him off Draper. actually talk of Swindon, they waited until late November for their first win last season. Leicester City's wait maybe not quite so long. Joachim. Blake. Quite what Moen had in mind. Roberts has certainly been a good ally to Joachim. Philpott. Lake. Edinburgh's header, Calderwood's clearance. Sheringham has lost out to Grayson though, and here's Franz Carr. It's a dangerous cross and Campbell did well to deal with it, but here's Mark Draper. Walker couldn't hold, but Nethercourt was alive to that possibility and cleared. Mark Draper it was who tested the young Tottenham goalkeeper. Good defending. Draper to Carr. He's taken on Edinburgh and he's skinned him. Franz Carr. Ewan Roberts trying to get there. He was always at the stretch. He managed to make contact with the ball. Couldn't force it goalwards. But Franz Carr, who's 27 years of age now, still got that extra gear, which has always singled him out as a threat wherever he's played. Fee has actually been agreed with Sheffield United. If the loan spell works out, I think Brian Little would be quite keen to sign Carr. He tried to sign him 2 years ago when he was at Newcastle, and strangely enough a deal involving Leicester's Tommy Wright, and Newcastle couldn't afford Wright. Draper. Still Draper. Rather a soft core to that Tottenham midfield at times, and Mark Draper just strolled his way into a shooting position. Nice play by Hazard. Sheringham. Hazard. Klinsmann, on goes Sheringham, and away it goes from Grayson. Leicester are ready to make the switch. The unmistakable figure of Steve Agnew will replace Lee Philpott, who will walk painfully to the dressing room with the consolation of a standing ovation. Agnew is the substitute. Hazard is the man on the ball, as he has been, it seems, just about ever since he came on. Really starting to pull the strings. Lewis is there again for Leicester. He's given it away this time to Kerslake. Headed behind by Moen. And Moen and company are coming under increasing pressure. We're set up for a big finish here. We've got more than 15 minutes to play yet. Anderton with the corner for Spurs. Well played by Kevin Poole. It's a match which has taken on almost a cup-tie significance for Leicester City. They can just hang on to this lead. Maybe so much better ahead for them in the season. Klinsmann though. Sheringham. And the famous five are finding more and more space. But Willis seems to be covering in every hole. Draper has found Carr. Draper. He'll have a go. Not the first time that he's brought the Leicester crowd to their feet this afternoon, Mark Draper. Club's first ever £1 million buy. But he's a young man whom the moneyed clubs have watched for some time. And he's starting to realise his potential. Hazard. Away by Moen. Lewis to Blake. Draper. Carr. Grayson. Franz Carr. Justin Edinburgh is stranded downfield. Dumitrescu doing the fullback shot, but it's a corner kick. Ian Walker just unable to prevent the ball arcing across the dead ball line. Carr with the corner. It's Roberts. Did well to get up, although it was a fairly straightforward save for Ian Walker. Hazard. Passed the ball beautifully since he's come on. Dumitrescu. They've had a lot of the ball in the last half hour, but somehow the Tottenham attacks in the second half haven't carried quite the menace they did in the first. Joachim, on to Draper, on to Joachim. Big moment for Julian Joachim. And a big relief to Ian Walker. Played in by Draper, and he just poked the ball, almost Romario style, wasn't it, with the outside of his right foot. But Walker managed to help it over the crossbar. Lewis. Low. Agnew. Lewis is going on. Nethercott's there. Hazard to set Spurs in motion again. Edinburgh. We're inside the last 5 minutes, but it's a game you want to go on now. It's absolutely fascinating. Anderton. Edinburgh. Anderton. Away by Lewis. First smack of desperation in a way there about Anderton's shot. And Hazard's been caught in possession here. He's been the one who's been providing the control. What a chance to break now through Joachim. There are 4 forward in support of him. The Spurs haven't got that many men back. Well, they have now. Agnew. Joachim. On goes Agnew, the substitute. Sheringham. Edinburgh. And out by Blake. And here's Joachim, 3 against 2 here. Doesn't know whether just to keep possession or try and put it beyond Spurs. It's played David Lowe in. Oh, David Lowe has won the game for Leicester. The score, and time for Leicester City to party. Julian Joachim, the scorer of the first goal, is the provider of the second, and David Lowe, who's just come on as a substitute, who scored a great goal at Wimbledon last week, has scored another beauty this week. And Leicester City have found their feet in the big league. Lewis, now Agnew, waved by Campbell, who was having some treatment there and only came back onto the field as that attack was developing, and Spurs were short-handed. But in fairness, all of their efforts really have been directed towards trying to save this game in the last half hour or so. And they were wide open to the counter. They were forced to be. Anderson. Sheringham. Klinsmann. He's made space. Oh, and he's made Leicester pay. Not over yet. Not by a long way. Another spectacular strike from Jurgen Klinsmann. 7 goals now in 6 games for Tottenham. World-class stuff. And the Leicester party invitations won't be sent out just yet. 90 seconds remaining plus whatever. Well, the quality of Klinsmann's strike will probably get lost amidst the celebrations if Leicester can hang on. But it was another impeccable piece of finishing. Lewis. Joachim. And it must be perfectly clear to Leicester City that nothing comes easy in this league. Even when you think you've got a game won, you have to think again. Backheel from Klinsmann to Anderson. Sheringham. Edinburgh outside of him. Sheringham instead looking inside. Dumitrescu's kicked it in. And Poole has held on. Marvellous finish to a game that's just got better and better. We're in stoppage time. Roberts has found Joachim again. And again, it's Julian Joachim once more. And now it's 3-1. And now they have won the game. Joachim confirms his return to the side with his second goal of what has been a memorable afternoon for Leicester City. He'll be 20 on Tuesday, and I would think the talk of the party will be his performance against Tottenham. Here goes Lewis, who's been another of the afternoon's great successes. Leicester seem to have specialised in bad starts down the years. The last time they were promoted in 1983, they lost their first 6 games back, but they survived the drop. And those people who had them relegated by the middle of September coming into this game will maybe have to think again, not just from the spirit that they've shown, but from the ability of some of their younger players, notably Joachim. September the 17th could be a red-letter day for Leicester City. Their first Premiership win, not before time, but maybe in time to get their season moving. Julian Joachim, a star in the making, scorer of 2 of their 3 goals. It's the second defeat of the week for Spurs, still looking to make all the pieces fit. In net terms, that win takes Leicester above Tottenham in the table. They've won it by 3 goals to 1, and it could be the start of better times for Brian Little's team.
In the Coca-Cola Cup, City were cast in the role of giants, and the 3rd Division men from the Goldstone ground were destined to give the Foxes a real test.
Wilkins. Intelligent into the path of Smith. How can he get his crossing from here? Good one too. Oh! Terrific save by the keeper from Bissett. Smith loping towards the line. And in goes Bissett. And how's that for a stop by Kevin Poole? Grayson. In goes Blake. Foster. Superb saving header there. Foster down in the goal mouth, but he's clearly hit his head. Oh, that was a fantastic piece of defending by him. And he hit his head on the post there as he went down. Blood on the headband. But if I know Steve Foster, he'll soldier on. What a marvellous servant he's been to Brighton down the years. The second spell with the club, of course. Up goes Foster. Battle weary. What a hero he would be if he could score now. Minton with the corner. Wilkins. Good effort. He really caught that on the volley, that Dean Wilkins. And Poole was equal to it again. No one to pick up Wilkins. A spanking drive through. Nogan. McDougall in the middle. Minton arriving as well. There's a poor clearance by Lewis. Wilkins a little unlucky. Minton now for Cotner. And Chapman. It's a goal. Nogan. And Brighton have broken through at last. And deservedly so. Kurt Nogan, the leading scorer, strikes again. His 6th goal in as many matches. Cotner with the cross. It's Chapman who guides it back at the far post. And as ever, a clinical finish from Kurt Nogan. Cotner's clearance finds Nogan. Minton. Blake it well. So was Chapman. Now Monday. Running it wide for Cotner. McDougall's ahead of him. Still Cotner! Another brilliant stop by Kevin Poole. Well, no one would love to score more than this man, Robert Cotner, against the club that released him.
Kurt Nogan's winner had brought City down to earth after their great win against Spurs. Meanwhile, it was back to the Premiership battle against rock-bottom Everton at Goodison Park.
Picked up here by Joachim. And what can he do? Well, that's not a bad little ball. They're appealing for offside, but there was no way that Draper was offside there. And it was left to Neville Southall to sort it out for Everton in the end. Joachim making the run through the middle, delivers the perfect ball to Draper, but he was just at too much of a stretch there. So Philpott goes across to take the corner kick for Leicester City. Still no score here at Goodison Park. Back it comes from Draper. Philpott's cross, that's not a bad one. Oh, it's there! A great goal! Oh, it's ruled out! It turns to disappointment in the end. Draper playing it to Philpott. The early ball in, but the flag was up for offside. And Ewan Roberts' good effort ruled out. It's virtually a six-pointer, of course. Both teams desperately in need of points. And Everton force the corner. This is Vinnie Samways then, who cost a cool 2.2 million to sign from Tottenham Hotspur. Long ball, Ablett with a strike! Oh, it's there! Gary Ablett! 50 minutes gone, and Everton at last break the ice. It's Everton 1, Leicester City 0. A long corner from Samways. This is a bullet header in. And Ablett gets the final touch. Kevin Poole so unlucky. Joachim on the run. Ewan Roberts in the middle. Oh, the shot coming in off the crossbar. That was a great effort. And Neville Southall conjures up another magical save to keep Everton into the lead. Philpott's cross. Draper trying his luck there. Played wide again by Grayson. Franz Carr's cross. Back it comes from Philpott. Everton in trouble. Oh, it's there! Acrobatics of the highest order there. But yet another goal ruled out. It just isn't Leicester City's day. But the linesman adamant. He's given offside here. Philpott pulls it back. Well, Franz Carr was the man standing on the line and behind the defenders. So Everton looking to increase their lead now. Good defending again by Leicester. Away goes Carr. Here's Mark Draper. Oh, he slotted it in beautifully. A superb goal by Mark Draper. We've got 9 minutes left. It's Everton 1, Leicester City 1. Franz Carr picking it up just inside his own half, made a good run, but look, nobody picks up Draper at all. He's able to control the ball, put it onto his right foot and slot it past Neville Southall.
After having 2 attempts disallowed, City were clearly relieved when Mark Draper finally secured a point with an equaliser 9 minutes from time. Next came an action-packed encounter against Coventry City.
Quite interesting, they've switched Kobe Jones out wide left for this match. He's been used wide right so far. Very, very pacey, the dreadlocked American. So Coventry City with the free kick. Playing towards Dion Dublin. Wegley, yes, that'll do! Coventry City are ahead, and that is Roy Wegley's first goal since January the 3rd.
Oh, it's well worth waiting on, wasn't it, for him? Not easy at all. Not easy at all, because he's falling. Dublin causes the confusion by being awkward, but look how quickly, A, he adjusts his position, and B, he controls the shot. Now watch Wegley, he peels round the back, and that's why he gets his space from, and drills a beautiful shot into the net.
Wegley with Moen, who beats him in the air. Now it's Lewis, Philpott flicking it on. Joachim was trying to get behind Boost, who did well.
And the one thing Brian Little's always said his side have is great spirit, great belief in themselves, and I think that's going to be important this season for them.
That's Boost fouling Joachim. Dangerous position for the free kick as well.
Now it's composure now. They're a goal down, you've got a free kick in a really good position. The important thing here, don't waste it. At least make the goalkeeper save it.
Draper and Philpott are the two men standing over the free kick. I know Philpott can be very dangerous at curling them, but it's Draper who takes it. He's hit the bar. Back in again by Moen. Scrambled clear by Dublin, the captain who was back defending. Well, Draper, unlucky.
Well, he is unlucky. He's high in confidence at the moment, Mark Draper. Yeah, I wonder if Augie gets himself across. Would he have got there? No. Completely deceived by the free kick. 3 inches lower and Leicester are level. Superbly taken. Goalkeeper's not there.
Better spell this by Leicester. Philpott, come help by Gillespie. Now Joachim, on towards Blake. Nicely measured there, and so close for Ewan Roberts on the far post.
Super play from Mark Blake, it really was. It's been the threat from midfield. Look at the run in behind Ian. Takes him in there, and he needs a cool head, and that's a super ball across goal. Goes under Ewan Roberts' foot, but a really super ball from Mark Blake. Good control there, has a little look. There you are, Ewan, bring his level. Oh, how close can you get?
Leicester 0, Coventry City 1. Roy Wegley's goal on 12 minutes. And Leicester in charge on the possession front.
He's settled now, Ian, after losing the goal. They've had a good spell. Some nice passing, some good movement. And 1 or 2 chances, which is important.
Gillespie's challenge.
I'd be surprised if it's not a booking. Defender's not allowed to come in from behind. And if the referee gives a free kick, then he automatically books him. Joachim just trying to turn him here. He's looking to get away. And Garrigle it.
Oh, he's got a red card.
Oh, well, I can't believe that.
On his return to the Premier League, the first time in the starting lineup for 11 years, and Gary Gillespie is sent off. Philpott, Blake, Philpott again, trying to get there. He does very well to get the cross in. And David Boos was there on the near post to cut it out.
He did well, Boos. It would have just have been as easy to smash this out of your own net. David Boos gets in position there and digs it out. Not comfortably, but he dug it out anyway.
Philpott's corner. Moen went up for it and he looked to foul Cook. And he's going to, I think, be penalised for this. Is Jimmy Willis is the man being spoken to for that challenge. Oh, another red card. Jimmy Willis gets the red card. Well, we need to look at that again, Andy.
I need to. I must be somewhere else. I need to see this. That's a genuine attempt to head the ball. It's a clash of heads. It's exactly what I thought it was, Ian. A clash of heads. I mean, the referee has completely lost the pace. He attacks the ball in the way you would want anyone to attack the ball in that situation. It's hung up for a centre-back or an attacker to go at it from the corner. There's a clash of heads. There's no doubt about that. You can't argue with it. There's a clash of heads. But that's all there was.
goal, 2 red cards. What will the second half bring? Good run by Lewis. He's ushered into a wide position. This is gone. Free kick Leicester.
What will the first bad tackle bring?
Draper, Joe Team, and a goal on the far post for Ewan Roberts. Leicester City level in first half injury time. First goal of the season for the Welshman, Ewan Roberts.
And the smallest man in their attack creates it with a lovely leap and a much better header. That's a magnificent save from the goalkeeper. He can only just plop it out though, and Ewan Roberts is on top of it. And that's a simple opening to Ewan Roberts this season. First goal, a tap in. Watch the header. It's a really good header from Joachim. That's a great save from Big Oggy, but he gets no luck. And a simple tap in for Ewan Roberts.
Leicester City, who had those 2 Wembley agonies in playoff finals, and they lost 2 debatable penalties before beating Derby 2-1 in the playoff final in front of 73,000 last year. A memorable day for the club, but can they hold on to their Premiership status? That's the key question for them. 1-1 here. Lewis going forward for them. Carries on with his run. This is Philpott. Good angle ball, and here's a chance for Joachim. Close.
Well, that is a chance. I wondered whether he could have headed it. Lovely knockdown from Roberts. Now, I just wonder, can Joachim just knock that in with his head? He decided to take it on his chest. Well, Grizovic then made it difficult, but he just balloons it over the bar. Just there, I thought, go on, head that one past the goalkeeper.
New blocks it. Dublin has another bite. Flynn to Cook. Good ball. Looked up, played it effortlessly. Pickering. Plenty of men in the middle as well, if they can work something here. Oh, he scored! Ali Pickering.
Or Dion Dublin. I tell you, Dion's walking back. He thinks he's got it. I tell you, this is worth looking at again. Pickering's the one, and you're right. I had a little look and I thought, who's there? Dublin's hand went up. Now watch as he drives it across the face of the goal. Now watch Dublin launch himself at it. The hand goes up. Does he get a touch?
Well,
maybe this angle will tell.
It's Pickering shot.
Oh, I
can't see, can you?
Can't see from there.
Philpott. Good run. Still Lee Philpott. And it's still in there, and a chance for Roberts, who's equalised. Ewan Roberts has 2, Leicester have 2, and has that saved a point for Leicester City.
Well, that's a disaster for Coventry at the back. Well, they were looking for offside. Roberts isn't when the ball comes up. Is he there? Oh, it's hard. Oh, what a tragedy. What a tragedy.
It was a miscue by Pickering, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was, Ian. I mean, he did everything to give them the lead, helping Dion Dublin, but this is the other end of where it can be such a disaster for you.
Ewan, well done. You broke your duck in the Premiership this year. How much of a relief is that?
Yeah, it's been a long time coming, but obviously I'm delighted to score. We'll be happy with the point, the way things went. 2-1 down with about 5 minutes to go, so we're quite content with the point.
Was it a case of just being in the right place at the right time near the end then?
I think it was. There was about 4 ricochets. It's a great ball in from Lee Philpott. And it's so many bodies, and it finally ends at my feet, and I just turned and put it in. Touch of offside there as well. Yeah, delighted to score that.
Ewan Roberts' double against Coventry meant City could now boast a 3-match unbeaten league run. But Coca-Cola Cup hopes went flat in the return leg with Brighton.
Shaken off the challenge from Bisson, a good ball forward to Blake. That was so close. Superb move by Leicester, and Mark Blake denied a goal only by a matter of inches.
Good save this again by Nicky Russ. The keepers are playing well tonight, and that's Blake's 3rd effort at goal, and we thought it was there.
Bad ball by Blake.
This is Stuart Tuck for Brighton. Dougal. Linking again with Nogan. Couldn't quite get it back to his striking partner though. And the challenge there by Blake means that Brighton get the throw in. Tuck, infield to Monday. Chance for a shot by him. And it's a terrific effort! Oh, what a goal from Stuart Monday! 16 minutes gone, and Brighton celebrate one of the strikes of the season by the 22-year-old who's never scored for them.
Well, there's not much you can say about this, is there? You can't fault anybody. It was just a wonderful strike. Bottom line to this is keeper's beautifully positioned. Just a wonderful goal.
Roberts winning the header. Agnew on to Lewis. Still time for Leicester to give us a grandstand finish here if they get one goal back. Philpott. Driven in towards Agnew. Chance for Agnew. Liam Brady wasn't too happy with the defending.
No, but it was one of the few times in this half, in the game, where Leicester have actually got on the right side. Poor finish, but at least they'd turned the Brighton defence.
Now it breaks clear to McDougall, who held off his man well. And Nogan is up in support of him. And he's got round the challenge from Willis. Nogan's in a great position here. And he finds Nogan. And that's it. Brighton are through. And they fully deserve it. And Nogan, remarkably, has scored his 5th goal in the competition already.
What a lovely goal as well, wasn't it, on the break. That's a beautiful side foot finish as well. Well, this is a real killer. Oh, what a lovely finish.
So, a late corner kick for Brighton that they're not in any great hurry to take. And the Leicester fans going home early and very, very disappointed. Jimmy Case has strolled over to take this corner. I think he might stroll himself into trouble here because the referee's coming over and him having already been shown 1 yellow card, he's not going to send him off.
He can't send him off for that.
He's going to. Honestly, I think that is nonsense.
That is embarrassing to football, that is.
That is nonsense. They're 2-0 up, 3-0 up on aggregate. All he needed to do was go over and say, get on with it, Jimmy. He's 40 years old, he's been in the game a long time. He was not trying to kill time. What's the point? They're on the way to the next round. That's nonsense. Can't believe it.
With 2 months of the season completed, there was no doubt. Survival in the Premier League was clearly the #1 priority. We'll be following the action throughout the season. Look out for Volume 2 of the Foxes Video Mag.